What's up, guys? This is Rockstar News, and I am Mighty Mike, and today is the first video I made in a long time, and I apologize about that, guys. It's been about a month since I released one of these videos, and I've been working on some other projects, and yeah, I'll talk to you about that at the end of this video. But I want to give you guys a brief update of what's going on in the marketplace, what's happening, and it really depends on where you stand. There's some, you know, the housing market is kind of up in the air right now. So let's kind of dive into this. All right, so Zillow released their new information about what's going on in the marketplace. They have like a market pulse that release every so often. And right now they're predicting that we're going to see home prices go, drop about 2 to 3% across the nation. And that's going to depend on, different areas, different markets. But overall, we're going to see about 50% drop in sales over this year across the nation. And that's huge. This has a lot to do with the fact that, essentially homeowners are not putting their houses on the market. They're going to try to wait out this whole current situation. Right now, YouTube is demonetizing anyone who says the P word or the C word, so we're going to avoid saying that. We're just going to call it the current situation. All right, so due to the current situation, we're going to see a lot of homeowners who are essentially going to, kind of try to wait out this game and see what's happening. On the other side of this is the buyer pool is going to start drying up. We have more and more people who are going to be losing their jobs. More and more people are going to be furloughed, and that, that stimulus check, that $1,200 that went out, is not going to be a whole lot to cover a whole lot of things. So right now, the consumer index, as far as the the rating about how confident people are of the economy, is at a really all-time low. And despite states in Florida and other places opening up their economies again and lifting up the lockdown, we're not seeing the consumer activities that we used to see back before the current situation was happening. And the reason it has a lot to do with it, it has a lot to the fact that, like what we talked about earlier, essentially people are losing their jobs. And, a lot of people right now are struggling. As far as what's going to happen with the economy, there's kind of, and the housing market in general, there's kind of two competing theories out there. The first theory is that we're going to see a full recovery, and it's going to be a quick recovery. Like once this is all done, people start to realize that the pandemic is not as bad as it is. Businesses start to rehire a lot of the employees that they had before, and consumers start to gain confidence again. We're going to start seeing people get back. Now the other theory, well, this is starting to look more like this. Essentially, we're going to see a cascading effect of like a downward spiral. The consumers are not going out there buying. And that means a lot of businesses are not making enough money, even though they're open and they're opening up their businesses with CDC guidelines. People aren't just going out there. Either they, don't have the money, or they are just taking a precautionary measure of just avoiding being outside. And if people aren't spending money at these businesses aren't making the money, then they aren't paying their rent. So we're going to see a lot of bankruptcies when these businesses, when it's all said and done. We'll probably see an uptick at the end of this year. And we're going to see a lot of commercial real estate landlords who are going to be essentially in dire straits. Commercial real estate is its own beast altogether. There's not a lot of protections out there. It's a wild, wild west when it comes to commercial real estate. So I don't know what's going to happen with that one. A lot of times those are owned by bigger corporations. They may get a bailout. Probably not. We'll see what happens. I don't know. But what we are going to see, with especially like individual small landlords that own between 1 and 10 homes, which is the average, is about 50% of all landlords, is that they're kind of between a rock and a hard place. A lot of landlords out there got into the business of being a landlord because they wanted to be self-employed. They wanted to get out of the rat race. They wanted to have financial freedom. And their current situation we're going through is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. No one could have predicted this. So a lot of them right now are getting hit hard. Essentially they want to do the right thing. They want to help out their tenants, but they also have to pay a mortgage. They have to pay property taxes. They have to pay insurance. That's their source of income to keep them alive. So they're in dire straits right now. So we're probably going to see them either, if tenants work with them or tenants can't pay their mortgages, we're going to start seeing a lot more foreclosures. We're going to start seeing a lot more short sales. And we're just going to see general sales jumping up from these real estate investors. So we're going to see a lot of real estate investment properties hitting the market, but the problem is that these are probably going to be distressed pricing because they want to get out of there as quickly as they possibly can because they're not paying the mortgages anymore. And that's going to cause prices to start to drop even more so. Now, for a lot of you first-time home buyers or, second-time home buyers, you may be thinking like, oh man, there's going to be some good deals out there, and there are. But the problem is that you have a lot of people who pull their money in cash out of the stock market, and now they're just sitting on cash reserves waiting to jump on the next investment. Just like happened in 2008, you're going to get a lot of cash buyers who are going to gobble up a lot of these properties. And 9 out of 10 times, you're going to lose to them. If you're using a conventional loan or you're using a FHA or VA loan, most sellers are going to sit there and essentially collect the cash deal because there's no appraisal. There's nothing that there's not saying that there's nothing, but there's a limited amount of things that could block a cash deal from going through. So whatever you do, don't put your hopes on finding a super sweet deal during this pandemic because the cash buyers are going to be out there in full force and they will beat you to the draw. Now, with all crises, there are some really good people out there who want to genuinely help people. They want to go out there and be a service to their fellow man. But with all crises, there's always the opposite. There's tons and tons of assholes who want to go out there and scam as much as they can and make as much money as they can. And we saw this during the first housing market crash. In 2008, we had a ton of mortgage relief scam artists that pop up out of the woodwork. And they're all offering solutions and programs and things to help you out. But in reality, they do absolutely nothing for you except take money out of your bank account. So if you guys are right now in trouble, you're having any issues paying your mortgage, always talk to your lender first. Do not go through these programs. If you see an ad on Facebook or you get something in the mail, avoid those. Talk to your bank first. Now, your information is public record. I can find out anything about you as far as like your house is concerned, your mortgage, if you had any lines of credit open up, how much you owe in the house, when you bought the house, all the information is public record. And a lot of these scam artists are going to use that public record information in order to target you. And they're going to look for people they think are desperate. They're going to look for people who they think are going to be easy targets. So don't be an easy target. Make sure you're vetting your people. Don't go through these programs. If you have any questions, contact me. Speaking of contacting me, so I try to make these videos once a week or so I can keep you guys informed so you guys can make the correct decision when it comes to housing. Now, my goal is to be as honest as I possibly can to you, and there's going to be a ton of people out there who are releasing information, and they're going to be trying to puff and make the market look as good as they possibly can, but the reality is that no one knows what's going to happen. This is a once in a lifetime situation, and no one has any clue about what's going to happen. We've never gone through a lockdown in the last century. No one alive has ever been to a lockdown. So we have maybe a couple people. So we have some unique circumstances that are happening right now. So if anybody tells you, oh, the market's great, it's fantastic, they're lying to you. They don't know. The truth is that we're going to figure out as we go along. And I have had a couple clients, they're looking to buy some rental properties, and I've kind of told them just to hold off, just to wait a couple weeks to see what happens. Because right now, if you get into a rental property and you're trying to rent it out and you get a tenant in there and they don't pay you money at all, for the second month, then, who knows if they're going to extend the eviction protection. I try to practice rigorous, authentic honesty in my life. I'm not sitting here trying to puff up anything. I just want to get you the information as much as possible. Being honest has always worked for me, and I'm hoping you guys trust me because I'm never going to sit there and try to get you guys to buy something when you shouldn't be. I'm always going to give you the right information. I can hold off. I'm good. With that said, I hope you guys, check out my other videos so you can learn more about what's going on in the housing market. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, you can find me you can contact me by finding my information in the bio above or in the description down below, depending on YouTube or Instagram. But if you guys have any questions whatsoever, go ahead and hit me up. And then, like I said, check out my other videos, subscribe to this channel, and hit the like button because it helps the channel out tremendously. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully it doesn't take another month.